The Joe Rogan Experience.
Back at that time, two of my brothers were teaching at the Gracie School in Carson, was Higan and Carlos. And I think by that time, Chuck Norris was no longer training with Horion at the Gracie School there. Not sure what happened, and he stopped training. Then one day, Chuck Norris show up at our house, at our garage. We used to teach in our garage in Redondo Beach, and we opened the door, suddenly look, it's like, man, that guy looks like Chuck Norris. then the student was with him, oh, this is Chuck Norris, and we look like, what? And he brought him to train. He did training a few years back at the Gracie School and blah, blah, blah. And it's a long story short. Then he started training for us. And when he started training for us, we become very good friends. It was amazing. Like something right away, he invited us to his house. And
he's a great guy.
Man, amazing person. Start hanging out. And by that time, I remember he used to make a movie, one movie a year. He worked for 6 months, make a movie, and he had 6 months off. When we met him, he was 6 months off. Literally, he trains every day. But when he trains, he doesn't go home. We have lunch. He hangs out. We go to a movie. Then suddenly become good friends. Then one day, after a few months after training with us, he invited us to the valley where he used to live in Encino and said, look, I have a surprise for you guys. Then he took us to a shopping center right on Ventura Boulevard. And he shows, I have a gift for you guys. And he shows one of the unities, mats, ready, is like a school. Then he said, look, this is for you guys, that's your school.
Wow.
Then we look at him like, boy, Ventura Boulevard, right on the street. I said, Chuck, we don't think we can afford that. He said, no, don't worry, that's my building. You guys don't have to pay anything. I just want to make sure I don't have to drive there. 101 and 405. You guys drive.
That's a hell of a drive, that Redondo drive.
And he gave the school to us.
Wow.
Then it's like, what can I tell more about this guy?
That's amazing.
Know? And that's why we have this school in the valley, because he used to live in Encino. The school was in Encino. Then we start coming here. Then here we are, Joe Rogan.
Tarzana.
Come by to our school.
Yeah, that's amazing. Wow, what a great guy.
But the point on that conversation was that our school, when we opened our school, used to call Carlos Gracie Jiu-jitsu because of our uncle. Because when we came in, we have the Gracie School. And I remember the family is big, and everybody has your side of story. Everybody's saying something about your uncle, your cousin. And we want to make sure that this side of the family that we were representing in a way was Carlos' side. Then a lot of people, when we did the grand opening, Chuck Norris were with us doing the self-defense and demonstration in the grand opening of the school. And that was on Sunday. On Monday, we're not even ready for the amount of people that show up at our school. And we have a small place with the amount of people. But a lot of people start calling the other school, asking where our school were. Because we're not even on the book, on
right.
the yellow book.
Pages.
Yeah, we are not even on that. And people calling the other schools, hey, do you know where the other school is? And that created a little situation back then. And we got some calls from other cousins, and they say, hey, you guys cannot use the name. Then for the first time using the name of our family, we realized, like, what? Why not? Because you don't have the last name, you can use it. Then for us, we grew up fighting for the family, doing everything for the family. We still do. Nothing changed. But then their suggestion was, yeah, you can call Machado. Why you call the Gracie name my family?
Was this because of Horion?
Yes. Was back
Horion was a lawyer. And so he was the one who kind of copyrighted it and wanted to make... He was like trying to sue Carlson at one point, right?
Man, but do you know the crazy thing was this? We have one of the students, and as we learn Jiu-Jitsu, the most important thing for me as an instructor was everybody can learn how to fight.
Right.
How can you translate what you learn on the mat to implement on your personal life? That's how we learn Jiu-Jitsu. The impact that Jiu-Jitsu has on you to succeed outside the academy. I know you can fight, but can you fight on your life outside? Then it's a different ballgame. It's a lot bigger and a lot harder. And we have a lot of students that came to us when we have our garage time that changed their life. And coincidentally, one of the students happens to be son of the biggest lawyer in California. And we have no idea. Because we end up getting sued by one side of the family. Then we have no money. We turn to the student and say, guys, I'm sorry, we're going to have to leave.
So you thought you were going to close down the school?
Oh, yeah. Then we have this guy, which his father was very grateful to us, show up, say, look, I'm this hotshot lawyer, I can represent you guys. Like, we don't have money to pay. No, you guys are ready. I owe you because my son was saved by you guys. And who's your son? And his son was training for us for quite some time, became very good in jiu-jitsu, changed his life around. He was a drug addict. Now he's one of the best yoga instructors out there.
A jiu-jitsu addict.
There we go, and changed his life. And that lawyer protect us, made sure that we stay here fine, protect. And that was on the past. Today, for all our families, we have our difference back then. And